So this is the Rise25 Dream 100 ROI method. When we zoom out, here's the overall process of the podcast. Okay. And we're going to talk in detail, as you go through your podcast planning and do the podcast, all of the details under each one of these. But when we zoom out, the first thing is the Dream 100 foundation. And that is brainstorming all, under over 20 categories of strategic partners, referral partners, potential clients, and all of the other relationships that can stem from those. So that's the first thing, is to create this Dream 100 foundation. The next step in the process is to reach out. So there's outreach, and there's different types of outreach that we talk about, which is the indirect ask, the direct ask, and we go through the exact scripts and the templates we use for that. But that's the next step, is once you formulate the list, you reach out to that list. That can be via email, it can be via text, it could be via phone. And you can see in this process, when you zoom out, that ROI comes off even before you feature someone. So the key point is here, obviously, if ROI comes before you feature someone, downloads and subscribers don't matter as much as people think. So because when you reach out to these people on your Dream 100 list, you're getting into conversation with your best potential referral partners, current referral partners, or clients. And remember, you don't need to ask them necessarily to be on the show. It could be just simply asking them what they think of the podcast name. It could be asking them if they have guest suggestions. It could be a number of things just to reach out to involve them in the podcast process. So when you formulate that list and you reach out to that list, you immediately start getting into conversations with the ideal partners and potential clients and people in your network. Now you can feature someone. So that outreach can lead to featuring someone, which is profiling them on your show. And you follow our methods of how you walk them through the before, during, and after the interview. There we have a 17-page document that goes through the exact process on that. But when you feature someone, you're really giving to them and profiling them and create a marketing asset that they can promote, that you could promote afterwards. After you feature them, the next step is referrals, right? And now that's not necessarily saying, hey, do you want to refer me business? But we found with a podcast, it makes it so easy for people to refer you guests for your show. So when you're featuring them and you say, hey, John, you are amazing, and I want more CEOs like you on my show that are in the whatever space, who do you suggest? Who do you know? And most of the time they have a network of people that they know. So the next step is to ask for and get more referrals for the podcast.
And that's where I always say, be very specific, be very clear. Don't just open it up to anyone, because that's going to be a waste of your time. Be very specific about who's the ideal client or referral partner, strategic partner, and tell people that that's exactly what you want. If you want a CEO or CTO of a SaaS company that's based in the Pacific Northwest that generates over $100 million a year and is in the fintech space, be that specific about it.
And you have a story about that, John, where someone did say they're looking for CEOs of a $100 million company.
We've had clients like that who said that's exactly what they're looking for. No podcast track record whatsoever. Was very specific about that. Actually was later on a call with someone who was giving them a list of CEOs that they knew that they thought would be a good fit to be a guest on the podcast, generating over $100 million a year in revenue. And the funny thing was that person then said, it's funny, I guess I'm not a good fit for your podcast yet. Again, this is a podcast with no track record, brand new, and they're disqualifying themselves. And then our client said to them, oh, tell me more, tell me more about your business. Knew the person, but not that in depth. And it turns out they were doing $55 million a year in revenue and had something like 110 employees, not quite this 250 that he set as the threshold. Still a great prospect for him. And so he said, oh, actually, I'd love to have you a guest on the show. So that's when you're that specific about it, even with no track record. When you use a velvet rope strategy, you can get referrals to the right caliber of types of people that you want.
I remember you told me that story, and the person said, Well, I'm not a really good guess because I only do 55 million.
Right.
Right? Only.
Yeah. Only 55 million.
Oh my God.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. So that leads to more, once you get referrals, it leads to more ROI. So you create the list, Dream 100, you do the outreach that can spit out ROI there. You feature them or whoever you want to feature. It's a fit. You ask for more referrals, will lead to more ROI. And that's the Rise25 Dream 100 ROI method.